My billionaire wife pretended to be broke for 5 years. I married Claire Henderson the day she went bankrupt. For 5 years, I worked 20 hours a day while our daughter Lily collected bottles with me to pay off her debts. On Lily's birthday, we stood outside a hotel in 100-degree heat, sweating in mascot costumes, handing out flyers. Then a staff member approached us. "You two got lucky today. Mrs. Henderson's hosting a party for her friend's son. The kid loves superhero characters. Dance for them and you'll get $1,000. For that, fortune." We walked into the glittering ballroom. When I looked up, my world shattered. There sat Claire Henderson, my wife, elegant and regal at the head table. She'd returned to her old self, all glamour and grace. Her slender fingers wrapped around a champagne flute as she leaned in to hear what the man beside her was saying, her eyes soft with a tenderness I'd never seen. I grabbed the staff member desperately. "Mrs. Henderson? Claire Henderson? Didn't she go bankrupt?" He looked at me like I was insane. "Bankrupt? She's the richest woman in the city." My blood turned to ice. "Claire." The man beside her, Alex Morrison, laughed warmly. "You threw such a grand party for my son, but today's also your daughter's birthday. Should we celebrate together?" Claire slowly straightened his tie, her voice dripping with affection. "No need. I told Yumi money is only for you, Alex. I keep my promises." Music suddenly blared. The staff member shoved me hard. "What are you waiting for? Dance." I bit my lip until I tasted blood. My body moved mechanically in the costume. Through the mesh eye holes, I saw Lily had frozen too. My smart little girl, she must have recognized her mother's voice. "Great job." Alex's son Jake suddenly grabbed a handful of cash and threw it at us. Bills fluttered down like confetti. "Ha ha ha, this is so fun." Claire and Alex exchanged fond smiles, their eyes full of indulgence. Lightning struck my heart. 5 years. 5 whole years. Claire had faked bankruptcy to deceive us for 5 years, just to keep that promise that her money would only ever be spent on Alex Morrison. She still hadn't forgotten him. Memories cut like knives. I was the housekeeper's son in the Henderson estate, always watching her from the shadows, never daring to hope. I watched her put her childhood friend Alex on a pedestal. When she turned 18, she threw him a party on a yacht, fireworks lighting up the sky all night. Alex, in his designer tux, pulled her close. "This is too much." She hugged him back, her voice impossibly gentle. "You deserve the best. I have money from now on, I'll only spend it on my Alex." Later they fought. Alex broke up and moved to Europe. She chased him to the airport, only to be crushed by his words, "Stop clinging. I'm getting married." That night she got blackout drunk. I went to take care of her, but she pulled me onto the bed. "You love me?" Her eyes were unfocused, but her fingers dug into my skin painfully. I opened my mouth but couldn't speak. She laughed bitterly. "Fine. I'll marry you. Help me forget him." I was pathetically grateful and said yes with my heart pounding. But on our wedding day, she went bankrupt. I never wanted her money, so I willingly suffered with her living in basements, eating leftovers, working 3 jobs in winter. I even made sure she delivered Lily in the best hospital when we were at our poorest. I thought someday she'd see me. Now I understood. That day would never come. Chapter 1. The party ended quickly. After everyone left, I finally came to my senses and frantically pulled off Lily's costume head. Her face was covered in tears, but she didn't dare cry out loud, her little face red from holding it in. "Daddy." She sobbed quietly. "Mommy lied to us for 5 years, didn't she? She's not poor at all. She just doesn't love us, so she won't spend a penny on us. She gives it all to that man and his son instead." My heart shattered into pieces. I wasn't a good father. Just to warm Claire's cold heart, I'd made my daughter suffer for 5 whole years. I pulled her into my arms. "I'm sorry, baby. Daddy couldn't make Mommy love us. That's why we suffered together. 5 years. She'd pretended to be poor for 5 whole years. While Lily and I ate wilted vegetables from dumpsters, she dined with him at 5-star restaurants. While we begged creditors on our knees for more time, she bid millions for him at auctions. While my daughter spent her birthday handing out flyers to pay her debts, she threw $1 million parties for her lover's child. I held my daughter close and finally made up my mind. Daddy doesn't want this mommy anymore. Come with Daddy, okay? I'll find you a new mommy who'll love you and cherish you. Yes. Lily cried harder. Let's go far away and never come back to her. I took Lily to a lawyer's office and drafted divorce papers. Back home, I cooked her noodles, and we shared a tiny birthday cupcake. That night, Claire came home. "Why are you still up?" She'd already changed out of her Italian couture dress into cheap thrift store clothes. She frowned at us. I said nothing, just handed her the papers. "Been waiting for you to sign these." "What's this?" Before she could finish asking, her phone rang. Alex's voice came through clearly. "Claire, did you get your jacket? Jake's still waiting for you to watch the meteor shower. We'll miss it if we're late." Claire answered gently and signed quickly before rushing out. As the door slammed shut, I quietly answered her question. "Claire Henderson, those are divorce papers." Chapter 2. "Daddy, are we divorced from Mommy now?" Lily looked up at me, clutching the signed divorce papers. I knelt down and stroked her soft hair. "There's a 1-month waiting period. After that, Daddy will take you away from here. Forever." Lily nodded hard, hope shining in her eyes. In the following days, Claire never came home. Through Alex's social media, I watched her take him and his son on drives, attend Jake's parent-teacher conferences, dine at exclusive restaurants. In every photo, she smiled so tenderly, an expression I'd never received. I scrolled through them one by one, each image cutting like a dull knife. I remembered our pathetic wedding 5 years ago. No ceremony, no dress, not even a reception. All these years I'd worked 5 jobs, collapsed on the street delivering food but didn't dare go to the hospital. And Lily had been collecting bottles and handing out flyers since she could walk, all to help pay her bankrupt mother's debts. How ridiculous. Claire came back about a week later. The door opened and her first words were, "Pack up. I'm taking Lily out." I froze. She'd always said all her money was only for Alex. Why the sudden change? Why take Lily out? No need, I refused instinctively. Claire's expression shifted. Before she could speak, the landlord knocked, wanting to discuss our move-out. Claire frowned. "Why are you moving?" I didn't want her to know I was planning to leave the city with Lily, so I just said, "Want a change of scenery." Claire didn't think much of it, probably assuming I thought the $200 monthly rent was too expensive. She nodded. "You two talk outside. I'll watch Lily." I hesitated, but she was still Lily's biological mother. I nodded. The landlord was a kind woman who pulled me to the stairwell. "Ryan, you've been here so long. If it's about money, I can lower the rent by 50. "No need," I shook my head. "I'm getting divorced. We're leaving the city soon." The landlord stared at me in shock. "What? Divorce? Did you file or did she?" After a pause, she continued, "Must be her. You love her so much, how could you leave her?" I looked down, bitter inside. Even outsiders could see how much I'd loved her. Seeing my silence, the landlord didn't push. "If you've decided, then that's that. But I'll tell you, Fish will regret losing you." When I returned from talking to the landlord, the apartment was empty. Surprised, I called Claire. No answer. After 30 unanswered calls, my heart clenched. I ran out, frantically asking around. The convenience store owner finally said, "Your wife? She took the kid in a car. Said they were going to the hospital." Hospital? My blood ran cold. I stumbled to the hospital and heard Claire's voice outside the surgery wing. "The match is perfect. After surgery, Jake will be fine." Alex asked with red eyes, "What if Ryan finds out you brought Lily here for bone marrow? Will he cause trouble?" Claire's voice was coldly calm. "I'm her mother. My signature is legally binding. All he can do now is cry about it." She paused, her voice even colder. "The surgery's already started. I won't let him interfere with saving Jake." I stood frozen around the corner, my blood turning to ice. So she came back suddenly to get Lily's bone marrow. So her taking Lily out to play meant tricking her onto an operating table. So, she'd trade our daughter's life for Alex's son's health. I couldn't control myself anymore and charged into the waiting area, my voice breaking. "Claire Henderson. You brought Lily here to trick her into donating bone marrow?" Claire turned, her eyes cold as ice. "Stop making a scene." "I'm making a scene?" I shook violently, eyes red with unshed tears. "Lily loves you so much. She draws pictures of you every day, calls for mommy in her sleep. To help pay your debts, she's been collecting bottles and handing out flyers since she was 5. And you? You'd trade her life for Alex Morrison's son's health? It's just bone marrow. It won't kill her." Claire's voice was terrifyingly calm. "Jake has leukemia. He can't wait. This is life or death. What about Lily?" I grabbed her desperately. "She's only 5. You tricked her into signing consent. Do you even deserve to be called a mother?" Claire grabbed my wrist, eyes dark. "Ryan, don't make me hurt you." I struggled frantically but was pinned by security guards that appeared from nowhere. Just then, the OR doors burst open. A nurse ran out. "Emergency. Both children are hemorrhaging. Jake has a rare blood type and we're running out." Claire's face went white. She spun to look at me, eyes sharp as knives. "You're O negative." My pupils contracted. "Go donate," she ordered. "Now. Never." My voice shook. "That's Alex Morrison's son. Why should I? If you don't donate, Lily won't get any blood either." Claire cut me off, voice cold as poison. "I control this hospital's blood bank." Lightning struck me down. She was using Lily's life to threaten me. I stared at Claire, then suddenly laughed through my tears. "Fine. I'll do it." The blood draw was long and agonizing. After 600 cubic centimeters, the nurse looked at Claire hesitantly. "Mrs. Henderson, any more could be dangerous." "Continue." Her face was expressionless. I was deathly pale, vision going black, but I bit my lip and stayed silent. I had to save Lily. Even if they drained me dry, I had to save my baby. In the last second before I lost consciousness, I heard Claire tell the nurse, "Jake gets priority." Chapter 3. When I woke, the first thing I felt was bone-deep cold. "Daddy." A small figure threw herself into my arms, voice thick with tears. "It hurt so much. I was so scared I'd never see you again." "Lily." I held her with shaking arms, tears instantly soaking her shirt. "I'm sorry. Daddy couldn't protect you." Lily raised her little hand to clumsily wipe my tears. "Don't cry, Daddy. It doesn't hurt anymore." My heart broke, but I forced a smile. "When Daddy gets out, We'll leave, okay? Where to? Somewhere without mommy. Lily nodded hard, yes. When can we go? 3 days. As soon as I said it, the door slammed open. Claire stood there, eyes dark. Leave? Where are you going? Lily immediately shrank into my arms at the sight of her, trembling with fear. My heart ached. I held her tight and looked at Claire coldly. None of your business. Claire frowned. The father and daughter who used to cling to her, eyes full of love. This was the first time we'd been so cold. Something uncomfortable stirred in her chest. But she quickly returned to her aloof, arrogant self. Alex got divorced and came back with a child. It's not easy for him. I help where I can. Our child is fine anyway, don't be so petty. My heart felt stabbed. You know that's his child with another woman, while Lily is your own flesh and blood. My voice shook. But you still tricked her onto that operating table. Do you know what we've sacrificed for you all these years? Claire's eyes were ice. When I went bankrupt, I told you to leave. You insisted on staying. I said I didn't want children. You insisted I give birth. Her tone was indifferent. All these years, I never forced you to do anything. Everything was your choice, wasn't it? A buzzing filled my ears. My body trembled slightly, eyes reddening. Yes, it was my choice. I loved her to the point of losing myself. I naively thought someday she'd look back at me. But now, never again. I met her gaze with red eyes but refused to let tears fall. You're right. I was pathetic. Claire looked at me like this and felt suddenly irritated. She gave us one cold look and left. Chapter 4. The next few days, Lily and I stayed in the hospital recovering. The nurses gossiped, always mentioning how good Claire was to Alex and his son. I heard Mrs. Henderson bought Mr. Morrison $1 million jewelry and that limited edition Lego set for the kid, the whole collection. Yesterday she took them to that exclusive French restaurant. The kid wanted ice cream, so she bought the entire ice cream truck. I listened without feeling anything anymore. The day we were discharged, I took Lily to the amusement park she'd always dreamed of. I bought her cotton candy she'd never had, cartoon balloons, and her favorite toy car. Lily hugged the toys, eyes shining, but when she saw other kids getting kisses from their moms, she quietly looked down. Daddy, she suddenly looked up, forcing a smile. I'm happy as long as I have you. My nose stung. I ruffled her hair. Want to try go-karts? Daddy will take you. At the ticket booth. The worker cheerfully suggested, family package for 3? Better deal. Lily shook her head. 2 tickets. I don't have a mommy. What do you mean you don't have a mommy? A cold voice came from behind. I turned to see Claire there with Alex and Jake. I looked at her calmly. Is she wrong? Have you spent even one day with Lily? Claire was speechless. The worker, oblivious to the tension, kept promoting, get the family package. You 3 are such a beautiful family. Alex beamed at the compliment and bought family tickets. Lily looked down, gripping my shirt, eyes red. On the go-kart track, I drove slowly along the edge, afraid of hurting anyone. Meanwhile, Claire was patiently teaching Jake to steer, incredibly gentle. That's it, take your time. It was patience neither Lily nor I had ever seen. Jake quickly learned and demanded to drive alone. Alex laughingly agreed, renting him a separate cart while he and Claire leisurely circled the track. But after they drove away, Jake suddenly turned and rammed straight at us. You poor father and daughter, stop taking up space that belongs to me and my dad. I want you gone. He screamed and slammed into our cart. Bang! At impact, I instinctively shielded Lily, but the force still sent us crashing into the wall. Blood streamed from my forehead. Lily's eye was cut and bleeding, crying in pain. Jake just had minor scratches but wailed dramatically, Daddy. Aunt Claire. They hit me. When Claire and Alex arrived, Jake was sobbing theatrically while I held Lily, whose blood wouldn't stop flowing. Ryan. Claire's eyes turned cold. Are you insane? Bullying a child? Alex hugged Jake protectively, accusing with red eyes, how could you do this to Jake? He's only 5. I pressed desperately on Lily's wound, blood running through my fingers. He rammed us on purpose. He tried to hurt us. A 5-year-old trying to hurt you? Claire laughed coldly. Do you even believe that yourself? Lily's face was ghostly pale, blood dripping through my fingers. I had no time to argue, picking her up to leave. Move. I need to get her to the hospital. But Claire grabbed my wrist, ordering security coldly, stop him. Claire. My voice was hoarse. Lily's bleeding. Apologize. She looked down at me imperiously. You scared Jake. I did nothing wrong. I glared at her with red eyes. He deliberately. No apology, no leaving. Claire cut me off, eyes icy. Or should Lily apologize for you? I trembled. Lily in my arms was barely conscious, weakly grabbing my collar. Daddy, it hurt so much. Tears burst from my eyes. I'm sorry. I gritted my teeth, voice shaking. I was wrong. Can I take her to the hospital now? Alex shrank back from my state. Claire frowned. Is that how you apologize? Lily's blood had soaked through my sleeve. My legs gave out and I fell hard to my knees. I'm sorry. Is that enough? My knees hitting the ground made a sickening thud that made Claire's pupils contract. I didn't tell you to kneel. But I was already running with Lily. At the hospital, Lily needed stitches but couldn't have anesthesia due to her age. She shook with pain, gripping my fingers, crying until her voice was hoarse. Daddy, it hurts so much. My heart was being flayed. All I could do was kiss her forehead over and over. It'll stop soon. Daddy's here. When Lily finally fell asleep, I dragged my exhausted body to get medicine. Passing a VIP room, I heard Alex's fake concerned voice. Jake's injuries aren't serious. You should go be with Lily. His tone was artificially guilty. We forced Ryan to kneel earlier. He must be angry. What if he wants a divorce? When I was young and stupid, I left you in anger and married someone else. I've already wronged you enough, and now you're still taking care of us. He must be upset. Claire's voice was cold and certain. If he wanted to leave, he would have already. I faked bankruptcy for 5 years and he stayed. He won't leave now. She paused, laughing mockingly. He and Lily love me to their bones. They'll never leave in this lifetime. I stood outside, my blood slowly turning to ice. So she knew. She knew I loved her, knew Lily loved her, so she dared to trample our hearts so recklessly. I slowly crushed the medicine bag, my heart frozen solid. She was wrong. This time, I would take Lily and disappear forever where she'd never find us. Chapter 5. The day Lily was discharged, I held her hand walking home. Daddy, when are we leaving? Lily looked up at me. I stroked her hair. After Daddy finishes the last paperwork, we'll. Before I could finish, a black van screeched to a stop in front of us. The door slid open. Masked men covered our mouths and dragged us inside. MMPH. I struggled desperately but was knocked out with a blow to the neck. When I woke, Lily and I were tied up at a cliff's edge. Awake? The lead kidnapper crouched down, lifting my chin with a knife. Call your billionaire wife. Tell her to prepare. 50 million ransom. My throat was dry. She won't pay. Bullshit. The kidnapper slapped me. You're her husband with a kid. She won't pay. Blood seeped from my mouth. I said hoarsely, we're getting divorced. She doesn't care about us. Fuck. The kidnapper grabbed the trembling Lily, pressing a needle under her fingernail. Won't call? Then your daughter can taste what it's like to have needles under her nails. No. I'll call. I shouted desperately. The phone rang once, twice, and was hung up. Ah. Lily's scream pierced the air as the needle went deep under her delicate nail. Daddy. Daddy, save me. She cried heartbreakingly, face deathly pale. My soul was being torn apart. I struggled frantically. Please stop. I'll call again. Second time, third time, 10th time. Each hang-up meant another needle under Lily's nails. The child passed out from pain and was splashed awake with cold water. The 11th time, the call finally connected. Claire. My broken voice cracked. Lily and I have been kidnapped. They want 50 million ransom or they'll. Done playing games? Claire's cold voice cut me off. Hiring actors? Ryan, when did you become so pathetic? Lightning struck me. It's not acting. Lily's being. I told you I'm bankrupt, she laughed coldly. Not a penny. If you want me home, try another way. The kidnapper couldn't take it anymore and grabbed the phone. Mrs. Henderson, bring the money or I'll kill them. Your husband and kid will die. 2 seconds of silence, then Alex's gentle voice. Claire, Jake wants ice cream. Claire's voice immediately turned sweet. Of course, let's go now. Turning back to the phone, her voice was ice again. I don't have time for these boring games. Since you want to play so much, go ahead and kill them. Beep, the line went dead. The kidnapper stared in shock, then exploded in rage, kicking over a chair. Fuck. All that work for nothing. I lay on the ground, forehead bleeding from the impact, but felt no pain. Looking at unconscious Lily, I suddenly laughed, tears streaming down, because she never loved us. The kidnapper grabbed my hair. What are you laughing at? Can't even control your own wife, you worthless since there's no money. Then die. Splash. The moment we were pushed off the cliff, icy seawater swallowed us whole. As water filled my lungs, I had only one thought. Claire Henderson, I regret it. I regret ever loving you. Thank God, I finally don't anymore. Chapter 6. I thought I would die. But when I opened my eyes again, I saw a hospital's white ceiling. My daughter, where's my daughter? I shot up, yanking the 4. The nurse quickly held me down. Don't panic. You and your daughter were saved by good Samaritans and brought here. She's in the next room, out of danger. I pulled out the needle and stumbled barefoot to the next room. Opening the door, Lily was staring blankly at her bandaged fingers. Daddy. Her voice was hoarse beyond recognition. Can we leave now? I don't want to see Mommy ever again. I looked at my phone. Today was exactly the last day of the divorce waiting period. Yes, I kissed her forehead. Daddy will take you away right now. At the courthouse, holding the fresh divorce decree, I felt dazed for a moment. 5 years of marriage, reduced to this flimsy piece of paper. Back at the rental, I started packing. After packing our things, I gathered everything related to Claire. She hadn't left much in this rental: a few dresses, a necklace, a dusty jewelry box. I threw it all in the trash. What are you doing now? A mocking voice came from the doorway. Claire leaned against the doorframe, watching coldly. The kidnapping act didn't work, so now you're playing runaway. I ignored her, continuing to pack Lily's backpack. Ryan, she grabbed my wrist. My patience is limited. I finally looked up, my gaze as calm as looking at a stranger. Let go. Claire laughed angrily. Fine. You're throwing out my things? Playing runaway? Then I won't come back. She released me and turned to leave. Let's see how long you last before coming to find me. Forever. Two light words made Claire pause. But she just laughed coldly and didn't look back. Me leaving her, that had to be the world's biggest joke. Everyone knew how much Lily and I loved her. What she didn't know was that the moment she left, I put the divorce decree on the table, took Lily's hand, and walked out of that home without looking back. At the train station waiting room, Lily asked quietly, Daddy, where are we going? I ruffled her hair. Somewhere without Mommy, ever. The boarding announcement sounded. I took one last look at this city where I'd lived for 25 years, then took Lily's hand and walked to the platform without looking back. Chapter 7. We settled on the train. Lily hugged her backpack, quiet and well-behaved. Daddy, where exactly are we going? She looked up, confused. I squeezed her hand. We're going to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Grandma and Grandpa? Lily lowered her head. Will they want us? Or will they abandon us like Mommy? Hearing her mention Mommy, guilt flooded me. I pulled her close. Lily, Grandma, and Grandpa aren't like Mommy. Trust Daddy. I'll give you a better life. After 10 hours, we finally arrived at my hometown Seattle. I carried sleeping Lily onto the bus. Seattle's scenery flashed by, bringing back childhood memories. Home, really? I wondered. Years ago, I defied my parents' strong objections to marry Claire. Mom had rarely lost her temper. If you marry her, we're cutting ties. Dad tried reasoning. Son, give up. Claire has someone else in her heart. You'll only suffer. I'm retiring, come home with me. Isn't that better? But I'd stubbornly refuse them. I thought if I just stayed by Claire's side, I'd eventually warm her heart, make her look at me. Who knew Claire would never love anyone but Alex, even gambling our daughter's life for his son. Claire. I held Lily tighter. I'd never forgive her. Mommy. Sleeping Lily murmured the word. My heart ached. Though young, Lily was more mature than her peers. The lack of maternal love forced her to grow up fast. I smoothed her frown, whispering, what Mommy didn't give you, Daddy will give you double. The bus stopped. I carried Lily down, looking up at the familiar neighborhood in the sunlight. Mom, Dad, I'm home. The elderly were still playing cards. Some knew my parents and came over seeing me with Lily. Ryan. Bringing the little one to see Grandma and Grandpa. An aunt smiled, looking at sleepy Lily. This child is beautiful. Ma'am, I'm moving back. Not leaving anymore. Not leaving? She looked surprised. I thought she'd ask why, but she just clapped happily. Good. You don't know how much your parents talk about you. An old man playing cards chimed in, yes. Your dad mentions you and his granddaughter daily. Your mom acts tough but misses you terribly. Warmth flooded my heart. Someone still cared about us. We'd suffered too much with Claire. Finally, we were going home. Standing at the door, my heart pounded. Mom's words about cutting ties echoed in my ears. Daddy, why aren't you knocking? Doesn't Grandma welcome us? Lily looked up. I just haven't been home in a while. I squeezed her hand and finally knocked. Who is it? When that familiar voice came from inside, my eyes burned. Mom. Mom opened the door to see us, tears immediately in her eyes. Grandma. Lily shouted, hugging Mom's legs, looking up with her innocent face and bright eyes full of joy. Oh. Is this Lily? Mom couldn't resist, immediately picking her up and kissing her. Mom. I called again softly. Mom didn't look at me, just carried Lily inside. After a few steps, she said with slight annoyance, why are you standing at the door? Come in. The neighbors will think I'm mean to you. Lily waved happily, Daddy, come in. I smiled, grabbed Lily's backpack and entered. Opening the shoe cabinet, I found my old slippers right in front. Mom. My eyes burned, nearly crying. Daddy. What's wrong? Seeing my emotions, Lily jumped from Mom's arms and ran to hug me. Daddy's just so happy. Mom saw us and dropped her stern expression, sighing. Since you're back, stay with Lily. Your father's at the market. If he knows you're back, he'll run back to buy more fish. Fish. Daddy loves fish. Grandma, you're the best. Lily danced around, face full of smiles. Oh, my granddaughter. Mom quickly picked Lily up, kissing her again. Will you sleep with Grandma? Yes, Lily smiled in Mom's arms. I like Grandma. I watched this warm scene, wiping my eyes and smiling. Daddy's smiling. Daddy looks best when smiling. Lily clapped, then her joy turned to grievance. Daddy never smiled there. He was punished every night. What? Dad's angry voice came from the door. He stood with groceries, eyes wide. That Claire Henderson dares treat my son like this? I worked for old Mr. Henderson for 40 years. My heart tightened. I knew Dad still kept in touch with Claire's father, but after my nightmare 5 years, I wanted nothing to do with the Hendersons. Grandpa. Lily called out, diverting attention. Oh, my precious granddaughter. Finally. Dad quickly put down the groceries and took Lily, examining her. My granddaughter looks just like me, beautiful. I saw Mom's helpless expression and couldn't help laughing. Come, Lily. Grandpa will take you to buy fish. And ribs. Dad beamed. Tell Grandpa what you like. I'll make everything. Grandpa's the best. Lily hugged his neck as they happily left. I watched them go, just smiling, heart full of warmth. Son, welcome home. Mom turned away. I told you that Claire girl was no good, but you're home now. Stay with us. I hugged Mom from behind. She finally couldn't hold back her tears. My good boy, you've suffered. Mom patted my back. Home now, home now. Soon Dad returned with bags of groceries. Lily bounced behind with snacks. She held up candied fruit to show me. Daddy. Grandpa bought this. Seeing Lily's long-lost smile, I nodded with teary eyes. At lunch, Dad made a feast. Lily helped serve rice while chattering, Daddy, Grandpa's amazing. Cooking is like magic. Dad, still holding the ladle, puffed up proudly. Of course. Whatever Lily wants, Grandpa can magic it up. Our family finally sat together. Mom and Dad kept piling meat in Lily's bowl like a mountain. Grandma, Grandpa. Lily can't eat anymore. Her cheeks bulged like a hamster I'd had as a child. Lily, you're growing. Eat more. Mom said earnestly. I'll buy chicken wings this afternoon for dinner. Dad smiled, patting Lily's head. My heart overflowed with warmth. This was the home I'd always wanted. That night, Lily and I slept in warm blankets, both falling into sweet dreams for the first time in years. Chapter 8. Claire and Alex sat in a 3-star Michelin restaurant, elegant chamber music surrounding them, exquisite courses arriving one by one. Wow. Aunt Claire is so generous. Jake fawned over Claire, wanting her usual doting attention. Claire just nodded, looking out the window. Jake helplessly looked at Alex, who coughed to get Claire's attention. Claire, what's wrong? You've been distracted all evening. Alex in his white suit looked concerned. Nothing. Claire pinched the bridge of her nose. Ryan's acting up again. This time he's playing runaway. Alex frowned, his disgust flashing before he smiled helplessly. Claire, don't worry. Men are like this. Claire's expression softened. She smiled and pulled out a velvet box, solemnly opening it to reveal an expensive diamond watch. Claire. Alex's eyes widened with delight as Claire personally put the watch on him. It suits you. She smiled gently, fingers deliberately brushing his palm. Claire. Alex laughed softly, taking her hand. Jake looked over. Aunt Claire, will you be my mommy? Alex's eyes were full of affection. Claire held his hand and was about to answer when Lily's face looking up at her flashed through her mind. Claire pressed her lips together, just smiled without answering. Somehow, remembering Ryan's forever filled her with unease. No, impossible. Claire shook off the anxiety. Ryan and Lily loved her so much. Everyone knew it. They couldn't possibly leave. Claire quickly composed herself, not knowing Alex had noticed everything. Alex, wait here with Jake. I'll use the restroom. Alex involuntarily clenched his hands on his lap, showing a gentle smile. Go ahead, I'll watch Jake. Claire washed her face. Water dripped from her forehead onto her long lashes, making her beautiful face even more enchanting. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep thinking of him today? She looked in the mirror at the frowning woman. He's probably done with his tantrum and gone home. I'll go back tonight to placate him. Claire took out a handkerchief to dry her fingers, imagining Ryan and Lily's surprised joy at seeing her home. Without realizing, her lips curved up. Claire silently approached Alex from behind, about to speak when she saw him gripping Jake's arm, scolding in a low voice. What were you saying to Aunt Claire? Did I teach you that? Jake suppressed his tears. Daddy, I'm sorry. I won't say it again. If I don't get together with Claire, you won't even have food. Understand? Alex. Claire spoke up. Jake quickly pulled down his sleeve, hiding the bruise. Claire, when did you get here? Panic flashed across Alex's face. Claire suppressed her inner turmoil, saying flatly, just now. Oh, good. Alex nodded, relieved. Alex, I need to go home early. I'll have the driver take you two back. She was about to put on her coat when Jake suddenly hugged her waist. Aunt Claire, can you not go? Jake looked up. Jake wants Aunt Claire to come to our house. Claire, is it urgent? Alex asked timely. Stay at our place tonight. Seeing their earnest faces, Claire reluctantly nodded. Daddy, great. Jake made a victory sign at Alex. Looking at the cute pair, she couldn't help smiling. As for Ryan and Lily, she'd placate them tomorrow. She took Alex's hand and left with Jake. Chapter 9. Mom, I'm heading out. I wore a crisp professional outfit, checking my resume in my briefcase repeatedly. Daddy, Grandma, and Grandpa are taking me to the zoo today. Lily threw herself into my arms. Under my parents' daily food offensive, she'd gained baby fat, her bright eyes even more adorable. Be good, Lily. Daddy will be back tonight. I touched her face and kissed her forehead. Daddy, fighting. She watched me leave, silently cheering for me. On the bus, I checked today's interview schedule on my phone. First is Morrison Corp. I sighed. My calendar was packed with interviews from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, Ryan, you can do this. I pumped myself up, determined to find work quickly to save for Lily's education. I followed the morning crowd to Morrison Corp's entrance. Against the light, I couldn't help but marvel, impressive, as expected of Morrison Corporation. A modest Bentley stopped beside me. An extraordinary woman stepped out in a professional pencil skirt, her stunning face made cooler by designer glasses. The professional women around me blushed, whispering. Meeting Ms. Morrison. So lucky today. I joined Morrison Corp just for Victoria Morrison. So worth it. Right? How? Is she so rich and beautiful? So enviable. The center of attention seemed oblivious, scanning the crowd until her eyes met mine, showing surprise. Victoria Morrison. Seeing her gaze, I quickly looked down. Such a familiar name and face. Had I seen her on TV? Someone this famous, not surprising. I nodded, politely smiling back at Victoria. Victoria showed no expression, just passed me and hurried into the private elevator. I shrugged, checking the interview location on my phone, squeezing into the packed elevator. Mentally reviewing my answers. Ms. Morrison, what's wrong? The HR manager looked at the breathless, flushed Victoria with concern. Victoria silently touched her burning ears, thinking, why did I meet him here today? He's still so handsome. Ms. Morrison? The manager waved. Victoria snapped back. Zhao, are there interviews today? Yes, Ms. Morrison. We have interviews starting at 9:30. Who's the main interviewer? Change it. I'll do it personally. Ms. Morrison? Zhao exclaimed. I'll send you the location and candidate list. Victoria nodded, watching Zhao leave. She quickly opened her phone to check the list. Found it. Her finger stopped at Ryan Walsh, trembling slightly. The elevator reached the top floor. She checked her watch. Already 9:10. I need to prepare. Victoria rushed into her office, surprising her assistant as she frantically primped and prepared. Lisa, I'm interviewing candidates. Also book the best Italian restaurant for two. Victoria strutted out like a preening peacock, rushing to the elevator under Lisa's amazed gaze. I looked at the wall clock, counting time. Just as I was psyching myself up, the other candidate suddenly stirred. What? The interviewer is Victoria Morrison? I should have gotten up earlier to dress better. Victoria Morrison. I heard she looks gentle but is super strict. God, this is bad. I better review interview techniques again. Victoria Morrison. Hearing the other candidates, I sighed too. Probably the woman from this morning. The CEO personally interviewing made me nervous again. Hello everyone, I'm today's co-interviewer. Call me Manager Zhao. The HR manager nodded at everyone. Due to circumstances, the interview format has changed. We'll call randomly. Those called will interview individually while others wait. The crowd buzzed but quickly settled. My heart pounded like drums. I had a feeling. Number 1, Ryan Walsh. Of course. I sighed helplessly. I'd always had terrible luck since childhood. Always drew the worst lots. Even in love. I shook my head, pushing aside emotions, and walked in quickly. Chapter 10. Ms. Henderson, last night's investigation results from the detective are here. The assistant respectfully handed over a thick envelope. Claire took it and waved her away. Yes. The assistant carefully closed the office door. Only then did Claire open the envelope and flip through the thick stack of papers. The more she read, the more shocked she became, her eyes widening, fingers trembling. Black and white, clear as day, blood test results, bone marrow reports all forged. Rage surged through Claire. She didn't believe it. Her beloved Alex, her childhood friend, was supposed to be the kindest, gentlest man. But the evidence was complete hospital surveillance, money transfers between medical staff and Alex, bone marrow database records, all confirming the conclusion forgery. Alex Morrison. She bit her lip, fury at being deceived and used making Claire lose all reason. Find out where Alex is right now. Ms. Henderson, Mr. Morrison is at his private club. Location sent to your phone. Claire grabbed her keys and stormed out, driving straight to the club. She headed coldly to the top floor suite but heard laughter before opening the door. You really made Jake hit them? That's bold. A friend teased. Daddy didn't make me. I wanted to. Jake's excited voice. Alex laughed lazily. He did well, finally got rid of Ryan. Daddy rewarded me with lots of toys. Jake seemed eager. If those poor father and daughter dare come back, I'll hit them again. Alex, your methods are really something. His friend praised. This is nothing. I was going to have Ryan and that Lily killed. Alex sneered. Didn't expect the idiots to have such luck surviving. Claire's hand froze on the doorknob. And through this, I discovered Claire really only has eyes for me. He boasted. When my ex-wife's company made a fortune, I planned to dump Claire with some excuse and move abroad. So free. But that short-lived woman actually died, barely left me any money. I rushed back with Jake, and Claire still had her. Uses. You're really lucky, women chasing after you. Of course. Besides Claire and my ex-wife, I was stringing along another rich heiress. But rich kids still depend on family money never reaches my hands. He suddenly lowered his voice, laughing viciously. You don't know Claire loves me so much she used her own daughter's bone marrow for Jake. The medical records were all forged through bribes. That fool was forced to donate blood until he passed out. Ha 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 ha. Jake laughed. Next time, I'll help Daddy again. Just lying in bed, sleeping, waking up. To Aunt Claire giving me so many gifts. Their words were like poison knives stabbing Claire's heart, destroying the pure Alex and sweet Jake from her memories. Claire trembled, the doorknob making a sound. The room suddenly went quiet, then Alex's voice, "Who's outside?" Claire closed her eyes and quickly left. In her car, she chain-smoked. She thought about what Alex had said. The breakup wasn't from anger but an excuse to marry someone richer. The leukemia was fake, he just wanted her concern and money. The go-kart accident wasn't Ryan's fault, Jake deliberately tried to hurt them with Alex's permission. The kidnapping was real, orchestrated by Alex to eliminate Ryan and Lily, smoothly bringing Lily into the Henderson family. But Ryan and Lily were lucky to be saved. Through the smoke, she remembered Ryan and Lily smiling at her. Their time together she counted and recounted, finding only a few frames. All these years, the one she treasured turned out to be so vile. While Ryan and Lily, whom she'd ignored, misunderstood, and hurt, were the real victims and the ones who truly loved her. The cigarette burned her fingers but she didn't notice. Why? Claire screamed, slamming her fist on the steering wheel. She'd loved the wrong person all along. Chapter 11. Daddy, how was the interview? Lily wore a giraffe hat, asking sweetly at dinner. Seeing my expression change, she and Grandpa quickly comforted me. Daddy, it's okay. Lily will study hard and support you. Son, don't give up. Keep trying. I shook my head, looking at them. No. I got the job. At Morrison Corporation. Lily and Dad's eyes widened. Daddy's amazing. Morrison? The Morrison? I nodded, uncomfortably recalling the morning's interview. Number 1, Ryan Walsh. I nervously entered the interview room, took a deep breath, and sat down. Good morning, interviewers. I started my memorized introduction but was interrupted by Victoria. Mr. Walsh, I'd like to know about your relationship status. The other interviewers and I stared wide-eyed. Manager Zhao whispered, Ms. Morrison. What are you doing? Victoria kept smiling, continuing in an extremely gentle voice. Please be honest, Mr. Walsh. I had to answer truthfully, I was married, have one child. Are you divorced? Victoria stared directly at me. How old is the child? This felt more like a blind date. I smiled awkwardly. Divorce is finalized. My daughter is 5. Victoria nodded. Next question, Mr. Walsh. Do you like Italian food? I snapped out of the memory, quickly shaking my head. Better not mention this bizarre interview. Under Lily and Dad's admiring gazes, I quickly changed topics. Morrison Corp has great benefits. I can save more money. Morrison? You're going to Morrison? Mom came with soup. You too help. This is hot. Lily and Dad quickly took it, placing it carefully on the table. One of my students works at Morrison, I think her name is Victoria. Remember her? She used to visit when she was young. I froze in my chair. You were little then. You know what? You always called her sister, begging her to take you on bike rides. Oh, now that you mention it, I remember. He'd monopolized that pretty girl's bike, saying only he could ride on Sister Victoria's bicycle. Dad mused, that girl was really nice. Pretty wealthy family, but went abroad for high school. She never married. Recently came back. Hey son, want to meet her? Maybe you two could work out? Mom pulled out her phone book, put on reading glasses, and started looking. Lily couldn't help saying, is Daddy getting me a new mommy? As long as she's good to Daddy. But Lily needs to check first. I looked at the three of them bustling around, helplessly covering my face. Mom, Dad, stop. Victoria and I are too different. It's impossible. What difference? I don't see any. A clear voice rang out. The four of us turned to see Victoria carrying 2 gift boxes and a huge bouquet of roses. Mrs. Walsh, I came to visit you and Mr. Walsh. She entered familiarly, why's the door open? Even with good security, be careful. I thought, the one we need to be careful of is probably you. Is this Lily? Auntie didn't prepare a gift. How about shopping tomorrow? Lily's bright eyes widened, looking at Victoria kneeling to her level. Aunt Victoria? So smart. I like this child already. Victoria enthusiastically pulled Lily into her arms, patting her head. Aunt Victoria, are you pursuing my daddy? Lily peeked out from her embrace. My parents' eyes widened, looking between the frozen me and Victoria. How did you know? Victoria smiled, pinching her apple cheeks again. Aunt Victoria looks at Daddy differently. Lily answered clearly, making my ears burn red. Night fell over the Henderson estate as it transformed into a Baroque palace. Famous paintings and sculptures decorated the medieval architecture. White peacocks strolled the lawns. All of the city's elite attended because Claire Henderson announced she had something important to reveal. Claire stood on the second-floor balcony, face dark, watching the guests below. Alex held Jake's hand, strolling in surrounded by friends. God. This setup. They exclaimed. Only the Hendersons. So Grand must be finally proposing to Alex? A friend teased. Jake immediately cheered. Yay. I'll be a Henderson young master. Alex lifted his chin proudly, enjoying the flattery. Right, what else could be most important besides proposing to him? Last time Jake misspoke, but he'd fixed it. Though fast, the result was good. Thinking this, he grew prouder. Wonder what ring Claire will give me. Can't wait. Miss Henderson arriving. The classical music stopped. The elegantly dressed butler gestured. Maids and butlers bowed. The scene shocked all guests. Claire descended the spiral staircase in an Italian couture gown. Crystal chandelier light on her face made her features even more stunning. Many men were captivated. Seeing this, Alex and Jake straightened proudly, chins practically pointing skyward. Thank you all for coming. Claire's elegant voice filled the silent room. Today, I'm announcing something very important. Alex clenched his fists, containing excitement. Jake jumped 3 feet high. He ran to Claire, hugging her legs. I know. Aunt Claire is proposing to Daddy. Aunt Claire will be my mommy. Alex smiled, adjusting his sleeves, walking over with feigned calm. But Claire just coldly glanced at them. Butler, play the video. Phones buzzed with notifications. As the video played, discussions grew louder, stares at Alex becoming increasingly hostile. What's happening? Alex pulled out his phone, quickly opening the message. Forged medical records and test results appeared. Seeing Jake and Lily's surgery footage side by side, Alex dropped his phone, falling to his knees before Claire. Claire. What are you doing? You'll destroy me. Jake knelt too. Though not understanding, seeing the hostile looks after the video, he knew Claire's video showed their deeds. Claire, don't you love me anymore? What about Jake? You loved him most. Will you destroy his life? Jake, hearing this, immediately hugged her legs, crying, Aunt Claire, no, please. Claire looked at their performance with disgust, lifting her leg slightly, throwing Jake off. Alex Morrison, look at your good son. So young, already lying and hitting people. Saying he'd be a Henderson young master. She turned away. You two will never step foot in the Henderson house again. Security grabbed them and started dragging them out. Alex, unable to break free, shouted. Claire Henderson. You think I could do this alone? You think you're any better? You faked bankruptcy to Ryan. You signed the bone marrow consent. You had them draw his blood. Without you, Jake and I couldn't have succeeded. His face showed a vicious smile. Let everyone know what our billionaire Ms. Henderson did. She faked bankruptcy, making her loving husband and child work 5 jobs, collect trash. Drew the child's marrow. Drew the husband's blood until he passed out. Everyone stared at Claire. Her face was ashen, body trembling slightly. She wouldn't even let her injured husband and child go to the hospital. When they were kidnapped, she wouldn't pay ransom. Claire Henderson, the famous billionaire, wouldn't pay even a few million ransom, told the kidnappers to kill them. How laughable. Drag him out. Claire raged, signaling security. Everyone kept discussing. Tomorrow's headlines would be devastating. Henderson Corp stock would plummet. Claire clenched her fists. She felt rage, but also regret and guilt. Alex never loved her, only wanted her money. But what about Ryan? The one who loved her even when she had nothing, Ryan and Lily? She'd stab them bloody with her own hands. Chapter 12. Claire raced through the streets at 120 miles per hour, knuckles white on the steering wheel. Her mind filled only with Ryan and Lily. Ryan. She murmured. I'll love you properly. At the shabby apartment complex, her sports car drew stairs. Claire didn't care, slamming the door and rushing upstairs. She burst through the apartment door, shouting, Ryan. Lily. But the thin, handsome man and bouncing little girl didn't appear as she'd hoped. The shabby apartment was silent except for her echoing shouts. Lily. Lily. Mommy's home. She frantically opened every door but found no trace of them. Is he still angry? Claire pulled out her phone, opening Ryan's chat, finding there. Last message was 2 weeks old. Guilt flooded her. Reicht planned to come back early. If Ryan just gave in, she'd still be willing to stay together. But 2 whole weeks passed without contact. Still, no matter. She'd now let go of the past, slowly accept him and Lily. She promised to give them everything, including her love. Ryan, are you still angry? Claire typed confidently. Once Ryan saw this, he'd surely soften. She hit send, but a red exclamation mark appeared. He blocked me? Strong unease rose in Claire. No, impossible. She quickly called, but heard only busy signals. Phone blocked too. Claire panicked, realizing about Ryan, she only had his WeChat and phone number. She knew nothing else about him. No way to find him. Claire frantically searched the apartment, finding all her belongings gone, along with his and Lily's things. What's happening? She looked around, suddenly realizing this home was too clean to be lived in. Her phone rang. Claire answered hastily, the landlady. Claire, is the apartment cleared? I'm coming to inspect tomorrow. Ma'am, do you know where Ryan and Lily moved? The landlady sounded surprised. Ryan didn't tell me. Aren't you divorced? Why ask? Divorced? Claire's hand trembled. Ma'am, we're not divorced. Ryan said you were divorcing. I thought you initiated it. Claire stared in disbelief. Before the landlady finished, she threw her phone against the wall. Divorce? Impossible. He and Lily love me so much. They can't leave me. She roared, her heart crushed by invisible hands. No. It can't be. How could he leave her now? She'd already decided to love him properly. Finally, she found the red booklet on the table. Claire opened it with trembling hands. The golden emblem hurt her eyes. Real, all real. Ryan really didn't want her anymore. Belated tears burst forth. Yes, after all her heinous acts, not just Ryan, even she despised herself. He still loves me. He still loves me. Claire grabbed her phone. Children need mothers. He needs me. She dialed a number. Find them. Find Ryan and Lily's whereabouts, residence, recent activities. I want everything. Ryan, wait for me. Claire forced a smile. I'll give you everything, even my heart. As long as you and Lily forgive me, I'll do anything. Chapter 13. Back in Seattle, at the beach. Victoria and I sat face to face under an umbrella, watching Lily build sandcastles with other children. Victoria, thank you. I looked back at her with a genuine smile. These days, thanks to you, Lily's much more cheerful. Ryan, it's what I should do. Victoria's eyes were soft, reflecting. The ocean waves. Victoria, there's something I must tell you. I avoided her gaze, ears reddening. I'm resigning from Morrison Corporation. Thank you for everything. Why? Victoria looked shocked. Your manager told me you're adapting quickly, very talented and hardworking. Victoria, I know everything. I shook my head. Among the candidates, many had better credentials than me. You hired me directly after my interview. Others didn't even get a chance. I'm sorry, Victoria. I understand your feelings. Thank you. I met her eyes, mine full of gratitude. Ryan, Victoria started to confess but was interrupted by a shout. Ryan. Bring Lily home with me. Claire approached, her tall figure casting shadows over us. I stiffened, slowly looking up. Claire stood before us, clothes disheveled, hair damp with sweat. Ryan. I was wrong. Her voice was hoarse. Come home with me, please. My fingers trembled. I bit my lip, forcing calm. Claire, what are you doing here? I laughed coldly. Can't you see the divorce papers? You can finally marry your true love. Claire's breathing hitched, guilt overwhelming her. Ryan, I'm sorry. He never loved me, only wanted Henderson money. Her voice was low. Ryan, no one else will treat me like you did. Claire stepped forward, grabbing my hand. Give me another chance. I'll treat you and Lily with all my heart. I froze, the scars she'd made throbbing with pain. You know what I've sacrificed. I laughed through tears, yanking my hand away. Lily and I had to dance in mascot costumes in front of you and Alex. Each word I spoke stabbed Claire's heart. She only now understood what kind of life we'd lived following her. Lily was so young. Other kids went to preschool. Her. Collecting vegetables and bottles just to pay your non-existent debts. She idolized you. But you gambled her life for your lover's son's bone marrow and blood. When she was hurt, you didn't care. Claire's throat worked. She said urgently, Ryan, I know what you've suffered. I investigated everything. Alex faked all the medical records, bribing doctors to deceive me. The kidnapping was his plan too. If I'd known the truth, I wouldn't have abandoned you. Fake? I stepped back in disbelief, falling into Victoria's arms. Tears covered my face as I laughed bitterly, so Lily and I were just pawns in your games. I smiled sarcastically. I'll never forgive you. I'll only hate you forever, wishing to return this pain 1,000 times over. Claire went pale, eyes red. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'll make it up to you. I'll deal with Alex. She reached for my hand again. Victoria shielded me, blocking her coldly. Enough. Claire Henderson, you've tormented them for years. Still want to continue? Claire Henderson, is this how Henderson Corp operates? Disgusting. The pain in Claire's eyes instantly turned to rage as she stared at Victoria. You're Victoria Morrison. You've known Ryan for days. Why pretend? If you move aside, I'll give Morrison Corp 50% of all Henderson project profits. I trembled. Morrison and Henderson's collaborations were billion-dollar international ventures. Claire would give away all Henderson profits? I quietly stepped back from Victoria. Victoria was Morrison Corp's CEO after all. For the company, she wouldn't refuse this deal. But Victoria just laughed coldly. Henderson Corp? Claire, you're pathetic. She continued, setting aside that I genuinely care for Ryan and Lily. I love him, want to marry him. I love Lily too, want to be good to her forever. Victoria took my hand, interlacing our fingers. I wouldn't touch Henderson Corporation. Look at your plummeting stock. Who'd partner with someone with no character or judgment? Claire staggered back. Seeing our joined hands, jealousy and madness filled her eyes. So what? Ryan loves me. Lily's my biological daughter. We're the real family. Lily, who'd been hiding behind me, suddenly spoke. You're not my mommy. I don't like you. You don't love Daddy or me. Claire looked at us in disbelief, forcing a pleading smile. Lily, Mommy was wrong. I'll buy you limited edition Legos, build you an amusement park, send you to the best schools. When you grow up, Henderson Corp will be yours. I'll make it up to you, okay? She begged almost humbly. Lily, forgive Mommy. Ask Daddy to come back to me? Lily just looked at the pathetic Claire and answered clearly, no. Lily doesn't have a mommy anymore. She looked at Victoria holding my hand. Lily wants Aunt Victoria as mommy. She loves Daddy and Lily. Victoria smiled at Lily, picking her up. Forehead to forehead. Since Lily says so, then Auntie. No. Claire's expression turned crazed. Ryan and Lily must come home with me. If you don't agree, I'll die right here. She pulled out a knife from nowhere, holding it to her neck. Ryan, will you come with me? I went cold. Lily started crying in fear. Claire, are you insane? Yes, I'm insane. Claire stared at me, reaching out. I won't let you leave me. You have to keep loving me. I'll love you. Too. Ryan, just give me this chance or I'll kill myself in front of Lily. Victoria buried Lily's face in her chest. Lily shook, crying hysterically. I was being driven insane. I bit my lip until it bled. Taking a deep breath, I slowly said, Claire, I'll go with you, but 2 conditions. Claire's eyes lit up with joy. Any conditions? I'll agree. Victoria looked at me worriedly. Ryan, you. Victoria, please take care of Lily until I return. Victoria nodded repeatedly. Yes, Ryan. I'll take good care of Lily. After getting Victoria's promise, I looked at the expectant Claire. Claire, 2 conditions. First, only I go with you. Not Lily. Claire nodded. Fine, as long as you're willing. Lily's not a problem. My voice was ice, I'm giving you 1 week. After that, you can never appear in our lives again. She put down the knife, took my hand, smiling indulgently, whatever you say. Looking at Claire's smile, I felt utterly absurd. Once. I only dared secretly admire this woman from afar. Now she begged humbly for my love, but I had none left to give. Claire eagerly hugged me, speaking gently, trust me, Ryan. I'll make it right. Chapter 14. I followed Claire back to the Henderson estate. Looking at the opulent mansion, I felt only cold nothing like our $200 per month basement. I slammed the bedroom door, sitting numbly by the window until Claire knocked. She wore exquisite clothes, smiling gently, handing me a bag with double C logos. Ryan, these clothes are cleaned. Try them on. We're going to the finest French restaurant. I laughed coldly. Chanel is Alex's favorite brand, right? French food is his favorite too. Claire's hand stiffened, her smile forced. Ryan, let's not mention that, okay? I knew how image-conscious Claire was, so I deliberately provoked. What if I don't wear it? What if I go in my tracksuit? Surprisingly, Claire just looked at me. Fine. Ryan looks handsome in anything, even tracksuits. I froze, then laughed coldly inside. So she could stoop this low butt. Before, she'd shown us nothing but disdain. Seeing me unmoved, Claire pulled me into her arms. Our Ryan is tired. Let me help you. She pulled me to the car, gently fastening my seatbelt. On the road, I needled her constantly. Claire, did you bring Alex to this shop? The owner's nice, she used to save cardboard and bottles for Lily and me. Claire, did you buy that ice cream truck for Jake? Lily always wanted some. Claire, remember that amusement park's go-karts? Where Alex's son injured us so badly we needed stitches. My words were like daggers in Claire's chest. She could only force smiles until finally going numb from pain. Yes, what could she say? She'd done every single thing. At the French restaurant, Claire cut lamb chops, carefully placing them on my plate, constantly monitoring my water glass, personally refilling it when empty. The great Miss Henderson personally serving me tea. I can't handle this. Claire smiled bitterly. I said I'd make it up to you. I raised an eyebrow. Make it up? Think time can reverse? Everything you did, those scars, won't disappear. She bent to untie my napkin. Not make up repay. Claire took my hand. Let's go home. There's a show tomorrow. The next morning, Claire's private hospital. She led me down the corridor to a room at the end. Ryan, look. When I saw who was inside, my eyes widened. Claire. You're insane. Alex and Jake were strapped to blood collection chairs, mouths taped. Seeing me, Alex's face contorted as he struggled violently. Claire set me down and ripped the tape from Alex's mouth. Ryan Walsh, you bastard. Let us go. He cursed viciously, all pretense of sophistication gone. Claire Henderson, you shameless bitch. I just tricked you, took some bone marrow and blood from him and the little bastard. They didn't die. Jake's tape was also removed. He cried, Aunt Claire. Please. It was all Daddy's doing. Bastard. Alex spat at Jake. Just like your worthless mother. Claire watched them coldly, beckoning. 4 people in medical scrubs entered with huge needles and blood bags. Claire. What are you doing? You want us dead? Tears covered Alex's face. Draw blood from the adult, marrow from the child. Don't stop until I say so. They nodded, expertly applying tourniquets to both Alex and Jake's arms. When one arm's done, switch to the other. Keep going unless they die. She held me, watching Alex and Jake scream in agony, nodding with satisfaction. I pushed her away. Claire, you're truly insane. Lunatic. Let me go. Alex and Jake didn't hurt you. Lily and I didn't pursue it. What right do you have? Claire looked at me with pain. Ryan, I understand. She waved for them to stop. They withdrew the needles, expertly stopping the bleeding. Claire untied Jake, grabbed his collar, and threw him at Alex. She sat in Jake's chair. Draw from me. The staff looked at each other, not daring to approach. Miss Henderson, you. I owe him this. I'm repaying Ryan. I watched the huge needle pierce Claire's vein, the blood bag slowly filling. I trembled, breathing nearly stopped, sliding down against the door. Stop. Claire. Stop. I screamed. Ryan, Claire smiled gently. This is what I owe you and Lily. I promise to repay you. Ryan, I love you. Can you love me again? As blood drained into the bags, Claire's vision blurred. Everyone became shadows, but she kept watching the crying May. Was the only clear thing in her world. Then Claire passed out completely, head hitting the chair hard. I leaned against the door, suddenly feeling the love I'd once desperately wanted from Claire, at this moment, had become worthless in my heart. Chapter 15. Claire seemed to dream. In it, Alex abandoned her at the airport, leaving her heart bleeding. When she returned home, the boy who'd always hidden in corners watching her carefully offered hot chocolate. The handsome boy blushed, seeming afraid of her, Miss Henderson. I made this hot chocolate myself. Hope it brightens your day. This time. She didn't push away his offered drink but smiled and accepted it, thank you. Then she discovered the boy knew all her habits and preferences, as if he'd been watching her for years. Finally one day, she confessed, Ryan, thank you for helping me through the darkness. I love you. I'll give you everything. He just blushed, gently hugging her. Claire, nothing else matters. Having you is enough. Later, they had a grand wedding, had a lovely daughter named Emily. Her nose, his eyes. Miss Henderson? Miss Henderson. The doctor's call woke her from this beautiful dream. Her lips still curved up until reality crashed in. No companionship, no love, no wedding. Nothing. Only her, destroying the boy for someone who never loved her. Where's Ryan? Claire's voice was hoarse. Miss Henderson, you've been unconscious 2 days. Mr. Walsh left already, but came by earlier. Probably hasn't gone far. Claire pulled out the 4, fighting dizziness from blood loss, stumbling out to find him. She found him in the corridor, sunlight on his face, gentle smile making him impossibly beautiful. Claire's heart pounded. She wanted to approach but heard him laughing into his phone. Lily's clingy with you? That's wonderful. What? Victoria, you. He suddenly blushed, then whispered. Okay. I'll say it. I miss you too. Claire froze, heart aching unbearably. Once, he'd looked at her with that same shy expression, saying he missed her. But she'd always ignored it, pushing him away to find Alex. Who are you talking to? Claire rushed over, grabbing his phone. Claire. What are you doing? Give it back. I glared angrily, reaching for it. She saw the name on screen, Victoria Morrison. Claire hung up and threw the phone at me, voice dark. Who is she that you miss her? I didn't look at her, just checked my phone, then put it away with a cold laugh. She's my girlfriend. As her boyfriend, isn't it normal to miss her? Claire's eyes turned red, then I continued, what are you to me? Ex-husband? Or enemy? Her face went white, voice trembling, please, Ryan. Don't be like this, okay? I stood there, not looking at her. In my memory, Claire had always been proud. When had she been this broken and pathetic? She'd shattered herself just to beg me for one more glance. But hadn't I been the same? I'd tried to piece together her heart broken by Alex, only to have her crush mine completely. Claire, let me go. No matter what you do, I won't forgive you. I spoke coldly. Not because you hurt me, but because you hurt Lily. I turned to leave but she grabbed my wrist. Don't, go. She lowered her head. I'll die if you want. Just don't leave me like this. Claire forced a smile that looked worse than crying. Come on, I prepared a surprise. The car drove to the city's most exclusive bridal shop. Claire. What madness now? I was dragged from the car. No matter how I resisted, Claire wouldn't let me leave. Ryan, seems I can only keep you by imprisoning you in my arms. I was numb now, just closing my eyes, ignoring her. Stylists surrounded me, pulling me to try on suits. The fitting room curtain swept open. There I stood in a wedding suit. Claire stared for a moment, then smiled and approached. Ryan, you look so handsome. She tried to put a ring on me. I yanked it off and threw it on the ground. Claire. What are you doing now? She bent to pick up the ring, pain in her eyes. Ryan, didn't you always want a wedding for us? I'm giving it to you. Now. I won't marry you, ex-wife. I bit out the last 2 words, ignoring Claire's disappointed expression, turning to change clothes. Ryan. Claire suddenly hugged me from behind, imprisoning me tightly no matter how I struggled. Please. Ryan, if we could start over. Her voice was hoarse, the light in her eyes dimming. Claire, there's no if, no future. I cut her off, turning away. Fine. You won't go? I'll drag you to the altar step by step. Claire held my waist. As if grasping her last hope. At the church, I refused to enter but was still pulled in by Claire. Claire, I won't marry you. I don't want a wedding with you. In the empty chapel, my hoarse voice echoed. I looked exhausted. I'd had enough. Claire, I don't want to stay with you anymore. Not one more second. I stopped loving you long ago. Forcing me to stay only hurts me. Just let me go. Forget 7 days. I've had enough now. Claire forced a smile. In her white wedding dress. She was breathtaking. She walked toward me step by step with pink roses, pulling out a diamond ring. Ryan, Claire said deeply, remember when we passed that jewelry store? You pointed at these matching rings in the window and said, so beautiful. I remembered. But I'd been deceived then, thinking she was truly bankrupt and in debt, so I just commented casually before picking up roadside bottles. So you knew all along. I glanced at her. This dress, this ring, Alex likes them, right? Give them to him. Not me. I don't want them. Ryan, don't mention him to me. Claire clenched her fists, throat tight. They're for you. Her voice was barely audible. Only for you. I remained unmoved. Sighing, I turned to leave but she pinned me against a carved pillar. Don't go, Ryan. Claire's voice was terrifyingly hoarse. If you abandon me, I don't know what I'll do. Daddy. Ryan. The church doors burst open. 2 figures stood backlit in the doorway. Seeing them, I pushed Claire away and walked toward them. Victoria rushed forward with open arms into my embrace. Ryan, thank God I'm not too late. Victoria, thank God you came. Victoria picked up Lily too. The 3 of us embraced like a real family. This sight stabbed Claire's eyes. Her eyes reddened, voice hoarse, Ryan, choose her or me. Claire showed pain. Lily, don't you want mommy? Lily hid in Victoria's arms. Mommy didn't want me first. So I don't want mommy either. Ryan, you really don't care about me at all? She stepped back. If you leave, I'll kill myself. Claire roared like a beast. I can't live without you. I shielded Victoria and Lily, signaling Victoria to take Lily out first. Ryan. She squeezed my hand. Trust me. I'll come back to you both. After long silence, Victoria chose to respect my decision and let go. Ryan, Lily, and I will wait outside. We'll go home together. I smiled and nodded. Yes, home together. Claire's face filled with pain. She threw away the ring and flowers. Pink rose petals scattered on the ground, broken and desolate. Ryan. She pulled out a delicate dagger from her pocket, holding it to her wrist. The blade cut, blood seeping out. Tell me honestly, is there really nothing left in your heart for me? Ryan, I was born into the prominent Henderson family. Money to me is like common paper, I have so much. Claire looked up, eyes full of pain. So many people fawn over me, flatter me, claim to like and love me all just for Henderson status and wealth, not for me as a person. I stepped back. So what? Ryan, you know why I loved Alex like family? Because he once saved my life. When I was kidnapped as a child, he volunteered to trade his life for mine. Claire smiled bitterly. After we were rescued, I asked him why. He said because he liked me. I believed it. A boy willing to give his life for the girl he loved, so touching, how sweet. What does that have to do with me? I shouted angrily. Are you insane? Ryan, but when I investigated him recently, I learned that kidnapping was just the Morrison family's scheme to win over the Hendersons. I paused, then laughed coldly. You two are perfect for each other. Love means playing with lives and kidnapping. When you loved Alex, couldn't you use your own life instead of mine and Lily's? I'm sorry, Ryan. Tears fell from Claire's eyes. I was blind then, loving the wrong person, stupidly trading the lives of those who truly loved me for false affection. Even ignoring your and Lily's cries for help. It's all my fault. I never imagined he was that kind of person. I hate my own stupidity, hate that I couldn't tell right from wrong. Ryan, only you were different. Her eyes were earnest. In my life, only you truly cared about me, liked me, loved me. Only you, when I was bankrupt and destitute, stayed by my side sincerely, even had a child with me. I'll never let you suffer again, including lying never again. Claire stepped forward. With each step, more cuts appeared on her wrist. Ryan, please. I really can't live without you. Without you, I have nothing. The blade cut skin. Blood flowing freely. Ryan, accept me, okay? I'll learn to love you both. Ryan, don't blame my despicableness. I really can't lose you. Don't go, okay? Claire, watching the blood drip, I bit my lip hard. Don't make me hate you. Hating me is fine too. She smiled gently. Better than forgetting me. You're truly insane, Claire. Yes, I'm insane. She looked at me almost obsessively. I'm really insane. Only you can stop my madness. Only you can cure me. We stood in stalemate, the air seeming to freeze. After long silence, I took a deep breath. Under Claire's hopeful gaze, I said slowly, word by word. I refuse. The blade sank into flesh. Blood gushed out, but she didn't even blink. I stopped loving you long ago. I don't want your so-called compensation. I turned away decisively. My footsteps on marble echoed in the empty church, exceptionally clear. Cold sweat beaded on Claire's forehead. Already weak from blood donation. She collapsed to her knees. Blood stained the tiles, garish red. Ryan. Her face was white, voice light as a sigh. You're so cruel. I just opened the doors. Doctors in Henderson embroidered white coats rushed in with stretchers. I faced the sunlight, looking at the two waiting outside, Victoria holding Lily. I smiled and walked toward them, step by step, absolutely firm. From beginning to end, I never looked back. Epilogue. 2 years later, Seattle. Lily wore a pretty white dress with a pink rose on her chest, adorably cute. Though still young with unformed features, she already showed a delicate beauty. Daddy, Aunt Victoria, happy wedding. She walked toward the crowd-surrounded couple with flowers. I wore a white suit that made me look especially tall and handsome. Little Lily, still calling me Auntie. Victoria in her white wedding dress was stunning, winking at Lily. Mom. Lily spoke this unfamiliar title and paused. Seeing her expression, my eyes reddened. Lily, that's wonderful. Lily and Victoria both reached to hug me, bumping together and sharing a laugh. Mom, I'm entrusting my beloved daddy to you. Take good care of him. Victoria gently wiped the tears from my eyes, kissing me through the veil. Lily covered her eyes. What are you two doing in front of me? Victoria laughed and flicked her forehead. Little brat, can't I kiss my husband? Then she knelt down, meeting Lily's eyes like 2 years ago. Don't worry. I'll take care of your daddy and you too. All the world's blessings surrounded us. The priest looked at us, Mr. Ryan. Walsh, do you take Ms. Victoria Morrison as your wife, for richer or poorer? I looked at the gentle woman before me and said softly, I do. Our lips met in a kiss. Rose petals rained down, giving us the most romantic blessing. In the CEO's office, Claire watched the wedding broadcast on her screen before quietly closing her laptop. She walked to the window, looking at the bright weather outside, remembering Ryan's happy expression, and smiled. If the one taking his hand and kissing him were me, how wonderful that would be. She pulled out Ryan's photo from her breast pocket, gently caressing his handsome face. This is probably my karma. Watching you be happy, but the one giving you happiness isn't me. 3 years later, I looked at the pregnancy test results and ultrasound, fingers trembling slightly. What is it? What did the doctor say? Victoria stood up anxiously, taking the papers. When she saw them clearly, she was overjoyed. My eyes filled with joy. I nodded at Victoria. Victoria. You're pregnant. Victoria excitedly picked me up, spinning in circles. Wonderful. Lily's going to have a sibling. She laughed like a child. Lily will be so happy. I smiled gently, my wedding ring sparkling. Oh, Ryan, when I arrived at the hospital, I heard some news. Victoria hesitated before speaking, about Claire Henderson. Though I hate mentioning her, you have a right to know. My fingers trembled slightly, but I smiled and nodded. Victoria, tell me. Victoria bit her lip. Claire killed herself. Jumped from Henderson Corp's top floor. They say it was gruesome. She watched me. Very gruesome. I was silent for a long moment, then smiled. Victoria, you can tell Lily too. If she wants to know, tell her truthfully. If not, we'll pretend this person never existed. I pulled her close, kissing Victoria's lips. I forgot about her long ago. Some people, once they're gone, they're gone. Victoria held my hand. We smiled at each other and left together, discussing dinner, Lily's birthday, and baby names. Claire Henderson the person, those memories, those 3 words gradually faded with time, even the traces covered over. Those 10 years modeled with love and hate, let them scatter in the wind. The end.